Okay, here we go into Gaines Mill. Put our placeholder core. 2 core. Note that you can't start without deploying 2 cores, which is why you need 2 cores for this map. 23,000 soldiers, 66 guns. So this is a fairly straightforward initial fight. This area down here, these woods around the river, are usually infested with skirmishers, so I'm simply going to bypass them entirely. The primary Union line is along these fortifications in front of the river. It's a terrible defensive position because the right flank is wide open and exposed, which is what we aim for. So the rifle brigades will lead the way. 1st Division. And I think one of the things I'm going to want to do is drop some of this artillery. Actually, it may not matter. Let's swap that. One thing I am going to want to do is get some skirmishers out here immediately, so that if I am faced with skirmishers, I can find them. Otherwise, we're planning to simply follow the road along here, and flank around the far Union right and set up for the attack. Essentially what ends up happening is you come around this right flank, the map opens up to the victory point that's here. Your forces have to capture that victory point, which is not too difficult typically. I think it's going to be harder in this battle because the skirmishers are stronger. And then you form a line and you sweep across. You basically do like a sweep across towards this final victory point, with the units coming in on this left flank here, having to move more quickly. So here we go. I'm going to pause so I can do my initial. I'm going to pop skirmishers out of all of the rifle units. Send them out ahead. Also the grenadier units. If there are skirmishers there, here they may attempt to attack my flank, so what I'll do is I'll use my skirmishers to fend them off. I want the grenadier units a little bit closer. We can redirect them as they get up there in position. And then artillery will definitely go this way, away from any possible entanglements. Conservative with the wagon, and Johnston will just order to here, because what'll end up happening is he'll end up getting ahead of everybody, and we don't want that. Alright, here we go. means the Union, of course, is already in position, capturing the victory points. Not surprising. If I'm gonna get hit, it'll probably be right here as I'm crossing the river. We'll see what they do. Also note the victory terms: Botswana Woods, Botswana Hill, McGee Hill. That's what I have to do to win. In other words, I have to control both of these victory points and the third victory point that pops up. My skirmishers are up, so we're going to send them out further. No contact. Chapman, 2,500 men. Actually, what we may want to do is get these guys further out. Problem with drawing these lines is when you're drawing the lines on the map. Actually, what we'll do is we'll just deselect these guys, send them straight there. I want to avoid being spotted. There's a strong artillery unit here. He can shell my guys over here, so I want to make sure that as I'm moving, my units stay well clear of that. I guess that doesn't matter because he's got my guys spotted. Although it is more or less wasting ammunition at that range. Oh, we've got contact with somebody. First U.S. sharpshooters. They're ducking for cover. It looks like first U.S. sharpshooters is going for my wagon here. I The sharpshooters have made the mistake of getting into range of the other skirmishers and being outnumbered. What I'm going to try to do is jump them. Notice what 1-3 rifle skirmishers are doing. They're headed the wrong direction. And not even bothering to shoot at the enemy unit. Okay, so my first units are arriving here, so we're gonna keep heading around. Should be getting reinforcements here in a minute. We'll let the skirmishers rest for a minute, and then we'll bring them around as well. So I'm ordering my artillery to hold fire because I want them firing at short range, not long range. Tell you what though, here's my 6-pounders. These guys chose the paths that pretty much take the longest to get in position. That's alright. Skirmishers are recovering condition. Even the 1-2 Grenadiers were the worst off for almost 50%. Look at how it shifted the divisions. That's crazy. Still slightly problematic. Alright, they're opening fire on my units. I'm going to pause this briefly to get at least these 2 units on their way, if I can. Apparently I can't. Oh, there, wait, we can get him. Silliness. We'll have to wait for them to develop. So you'll notice I'm gonna keep these guys from firing, but I'm also gonna point them in that direction. I think I'm gonna shift this brigade to that direction and this brigade here, because we know there's going to be units coming in from this direction, and so what we want to do is repulse their attack and then push them back, and possibly follow up with my skirmishers. So the skirmishers, we use the gaggle technique to send them out this way. Actually, send them to here. What should happen is they're more or less ignored by these units as they fall apart, and I should be able to get them into this rough terrain. And eventually I want to get them into this rough terrain. They will provide my left flank, and hopefully harass these units and push them back across the river. Oh, that artillery needs to be firing. I have no idea why those guys just turned around backwards, but okay. We especially want to advance and get close to take out this artillery. You can see he's canistering me. We want to put a stop to that immediately. Pulling these guys forward just a bit. So we put some more fire on that artillery. And they're routed. Don't want these guys to get too far ahead of themselves. Yeah, see, here they come. You can see we're already engaged on the flank here. Let those guys open up. The other artillery battery up to help. Gaggle my skirmishers up to this point. Just gotta watch the 1-3 rifle here. He'll get flanked by these guys coming down this way. We're gonna send 1st Division's riflemen skirmishers to make that attack. While 2nd Division's skirmishers move up on the flank here. Notice Chapman's already down below 2,000. Whoop. Contact. I'm ordering them to fall back and they're doing nothing, so now we're on the run. Just routed Bartlett. What we want to do is exchange fire with these skirmishers from a position of from a good position. Taylor's been routed. And we're now going to have my skirmishers engage his skirmishers. I don't know where 2-2 Grenadier thinks they're going, but they're going to fall back. And what we are going to do here is exploit a propensity of the AI. You'll notice that they try to reoccupy these positions even though the positions are clearly not workable. Yeah, look at this. He's got 700 skirmishers, 800 skirmishers on this flank. Now we're going to advance. Pursue those skirmishers into the trees. Actually going to shift our skirmishers to attack their skirmishers. And you'll notice now Taylor is trying to take the defensive position back, but he's in a terrible spot. He's got a bunch of cavalry back here. I'm only hoping that the cavalry can bring up our artillery. Yeah, no, we pushed him back here. Okay, time to bring up more of the reinforcements since they're kind of draggling their way in here. These guys are still sitting on the edge of the map. remember. Break off some skirmishers to hold that building. These guys are going to break off skirmishers as well. It's primarily to keep an eye on any possible skirmisher activity there on the flank. This is perfect. These guys are going to exhaust themselves, and I can pull them into a trap where they're getting pounded by artillery. Already routed one of them. They're taking terrible casualties. So am I. But we will fall back. Oh, he's got another unit of 500 skirmishers. Three grenadiers folded. That's alright, we can get them back up. What I want to do is drive these guys out into the open here so I can finish them off. Driven the cavalry off. 3-star skirmisher cavalry there. You like that? So 2-3 grenadiers back up north morale. We're gonna bring 3-1 rifle around. Bring the artillery around. Skirmishers. And we're starting to get parts of 2 Corps in. We got, looks like 1 cavalry unit. So bring them up in reserve. Our goal is to dissolve these skirmishers. We're in a good position here. Let's continue working these guys. His cavalry retreated into the swamps, which means they're screwed. need ammo. Bartlett routing. There, one of them dissolved. I'm gonna have Gross take over this group. We're gonna drive the cavalry down here to grab these supplies. Endeavor to keep the cavalry out of the swamp. Okay, good. We captured those supplies. Get ammunition. We'll hit Bartlett here from behind, and that should finish him off. There's still somebody alive. What the heck? I'm gonna send these guys back to their units. Okay, now we're on the clock. Let's see if we get any more reinforcements. Doesn't look like it. I don't know why those guys are not heading the direction I told them to go, but okay. Sure, whatevs. Most of our skirmishers, I think we got most of them back to their units. These guys over here. Nagel over here to resupply these guys, with Gross in charge of this push. Bring the cavalry back up. I know that the purpose here is not necessarily to get rid of my skirmishers. Is what I'm doing is recharging them, I'm trying to get them merged back in, and then I'll put out a new set. Chapman's now grabbed this building, so I want to start pummeling him. Used up all the supplies from that unit. And we'll go ahead and move across the river here. Unfortunately, 1-1 rifle's condition is low. It's time to repop skirmishers anyway. Alright, 1st Division. Let's pause for a second here. What I'll do is I'll gaggle the skirmishers across there. 3rd Division skirmishers are advancing. I probably want these guys to just stop and shoot. Cavalry needs to rest, so I'm going to leave them there. Gross needs to get more involved in the battle. Nagel has supplies available. 3rd Division supply is, of course, excellent. 1st Division supply is still pretty good. Alright, let's resume. Oh, we got some more reinforcements coming in. Even though that said all of my units were in the... Oh, these are my my 4th Division stalwarts. Alright, so 4th Division, we will deploy, we'll send them right, tell them to go right here, and then we'll feed them into the battle as necessary. You can see what's happening here with Newton as I advance. He's taking fire from point-blank artillery. 3-2 Grenadier just took a canister in the face from Whedon, but got a shot off. You can see Newton's about to fold. He's just taking too many casualties. Same thing with Chapman. So I want my skirmishers to chase these guys down. Actually, we'll have the 2nd Division skirmishers hold off. Bring these guys up. You can see what'll happen is they'll try to reform down here in the mud. I don't want that to happen. This is exactly what I want. I want that cavalry to get savaged. I want to take them out of the fight with rifle fire. Looks like they're mounting a counterattack here, so we'll deal with it. Hey, second course supply train. With the rest of the cavalry. We'll have them come up here. 1-1 fire. I'd like to feed into this area right here, but I don't think it's gonna. Or 1-3-5 fire. These two guys just come in behind. One rifles back to 100% condition. Notice that my skirmishers have now pushed Chapman all the way back into the mud, and so what we'll do is we'll try to kill Porter, and then we'll fall back to these trees and just hold him off. He'll slog around here in the mud, burn up all his condition, and basically be useless, which is what we want, because here comes Buchanan in the middle. We're going to withdraw 2-2 Grenadier to draw them out. And as usual, it's the cavalry's job to grab the supply wagons. They're going to grab it back. Unless I can drive them off. Which I might be able to do. Haha! Supplies secured. Notice how their position falls apart because they made this aggressive maneuver in the middle. What I'd like to do is get 3-5 fire in the middle here where they can do some damage to these units that are running away. Oh, look at that morale death. Ah, didn't keep grows in it. Start returning these guys to their units. This guy's routed. One rifle broke. Gonna push Newton out of there. Johnston needs to get up into this fight. Two rifles folding. Bringing up 401 rifle. Just fresh. How'd these guys lose 90 men? They're chasing after these guys, and Farnsworth is just pumping rounds into them. That's awesome. So, victory. Less than 5,000 casualties. Killed 69 guns, 421 cavalry, captured a couple supplies. They took 12,000 of 27,000 casualties. Probably would have been a lot worse if it had continued. So, all goals met. My units did really fantastically. 1-2 rifle probably took more casualties than was good for it. Same thing with 1-3 rifle. But everybody did really well, especially the skirmishers. I was very happy with that. We shut down the U.S. sharpshooters. They got 296 kills and took 400. They basically were wiped out. 3-5 Fire, despite being engaged for such a short period of time, had 231 kills. Artillery did pretty well. A couple of units didn't get engaged, but that's alright. 4-1 Rifle got 30 kills without taking a single casualty. That's going to make them cocky. Thoburn and Schweitzer were killed, damn it. But we got a bunch of other promotions, so we should be able to deal with that. Captured 1,000 1855s, 9 more 20-pounder Parrots. We've complained repeatedly to the developers about this. Apparently the 20-pounder Parrot is considered the best gun, and so when you're fighting on Legendary, that's all you ever capture, which is intensely frustrating. We captured some more Burnsides, some Springfield 1842s, God only know how that happened, and some Sharps. So we made a bunch of money, did pretty well. Didn't capture the supplies on the left, but I think that's alright. Gainesmill and Legendary, there you go.